1.6 Stages of Life. I didn't watch it at the time, but when I finally got round to watching The In-Betweeners, I was impressed. One might wonder why, given the show appears to be all about four sex-obsessed teenagers who swear at each other. But in a way, that's the genius of it. It's not about clever plots, misunderstandings, and brilliantly timed reveals. In fact, in the episodes I've seen, the plotting seems a little ropey. But the show is about something. This seems obvious, but if you want to create a hit, think long and hard about the premise and the idea behind it. Ask yourself what it's about, because if it's about something, it can lack a few jokes or cope with some dodgy storytelling and still be great. Watch early episodes of Only Fools and Horses. I saw part of one fairly recently. It's not all that funny, but it's convincing and believable. It feels like you're looking through a window on a world. The show is about something. It's about a guy scrapping to survive. John Sullivan created a world that he knew. A show can be smart, well-written, riddled with jokes and technically flawless, but if it doesn't create a world that is convincing or that a viewer feels that they can relate to, it's unlikely to be a hit. Even better, The In-Betweeners isn't just about something, but about a stage of life. In this case, that tricky stage of being in sixth form at school, treated like a child but expected to behave like an adult, whilst coping with wildly pulsating hormones. The writers have brilliantly captured that stage of life. Stages of life are worth thinking about for sitcoms. The In-Betweeners, Friends, or One Foot in the Grave show what's possible. In Friends, the creators identified that there were many people living in a hitherto untelevised period of life. They were graduate-type, youngish people, no longer with their parents, but yet to marry and start their own families. So they formed close bonds of friendship with their peers. It's there from the opening song, I'll Be There For You by the Rembrandts. And millions of people understood that stage of life and wanted to be part of that central perk crowd. $1 billion later, the rest is history. One Foot in the Grave is about another stage of life. It's all about a retired man who feels he still has something to give. His constantly being sidelined makes him angry, along with every tiny thing in the world. So here's a question we can ask ourselves for that sitcom we're creating that doesn't seem to be working. Could it be about a stage of life? No? Well, worth a try.